What's up, everybody? Welcome back to M&M Trading. I'm Marcus, and today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest investment opportunities people have been asking about lately, and that is the up-and-coming SpaceX IPO offering that's going to be available through Robinhood. So basically, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where to find it, how to apply, what the minimum investment requirements are, and the important dates that you're going to need to know if you're interested in getting involved. Okay. A lot of people have heard of SpaceX, but not everyone knows how this process works because it is very confusing and things are changing every day. So I kind of wanted to just put together a quick breakdown and walk you through step by step how this is exactly going to work. And things can change, so this is just as of to date. After that, we'll jump into my weekly trading recap. We'll go over some profits that I made this week, some mistakes that were also made. This week has kind of been a roller coaster up and down of emotions, and some bad decisions were made. And as always, none of this is financial advice, okay? We're simply just documenting our investment journey and sharing what we are learning along the way. So let's get into it. All right. So yeah, that's a pretty nasty dip right there. And don't worry, I got out before I started doing that. Nobody likes to see that. All right, so first things first, the platform that this is going to be available on is, at least the one that I'm using, is going to be Robinhood, okay? If you've been trying to find this on Kraken, it's not going to be on Kraken, so you might as well just stop looking. It's going to be available through Robinhood. I feel like a mass majority of retail investors have Robinhood, so I'm going to be basically showing you how to find this on there. This video is going to be kind of, helping out a lot of newer people too, because I know a lot of people just created Robinhood accounts because they heard of this. So I'm going to be circling a lot of things with my marker. So let's just see. All right. So if you're on the home page of Robinhood and you're on the main investing page, so you can just click this if you're on another page. This will take you to this main page that I'm on right now, where you can see your individual investment. You're going to go to your search bar, all right, and you're going to type IPO. Now what you should see is right here, it says list and it says IPO access. That's what you want to click on, okay? It's going to take you to, and the only thing that you should see is the SpaceX IPO because it's the only thing being offered this week coming up, okay? So that'll take you to this page, and as you can see, this is the SpaceX IPO. We also have a share price, but that could change. Okay, so that's not the definite share price yet, but it could change. If you click on that, it'll take you to this page. You can kind of see basically your request to buy SpaceX. All right, and then it says you can now request shares that you hope. So keyword right here is hope. Basically, you don't know if you're going to get it or not because you have to be allocated. And what that means is you basically have to be selected. It's going to be like a lottery system because of this is so sought after, and there are only a minimum amount of shares that are going to be available through Robinhood. Everybody's not going to get picked for this, okay? There are some rumors coming out. One of them that I have heard is, and I don't know if it's true, but I have heard that if you are actively trading on Robinhood, actively placing money into your Robinhood account, whether that's just a regular investment account or your Roth IRA account, you have a higher probability of being selected for, of being allocated for a certain amount of shares. Now, to go to that side of things, the minimum requirement of money that you have to place. Now, don't know if this is necessarily true or not either because it doesn't list it on this, on the SpaceX page on Robinhood. It doesn't say, what minimum amount of shares you have to have. But I have heard you at least need to put a minimum investment of $2,000, which would be roughly 13 shares. So if you go over here, and like I said, I'm doing this because a lot of people are new to Robinhood, number of shares, okay? In this green box, this is where you can basically pick how many shares you want. Like I said, they're saying that you need a minimum investment of $2,000. That'd be 13 shares roughly. So put 13 in there. That puts you at $2,100. Because if you were to just do 12, That's 1944, so that's not $2,000 obviously. So you would have to at least buy 13 shares of it. Just from what I have heard, it's not saying that there is a limitation on here, so you can try to do like 5 or 3 or 2, but I don't know if you're gonna get selected for that. So I'm gonna do a minimum of $2,000 because I'm also gonna be trying to get allocated through this. I actively trade on Robinhood. It's not my main squeeze. My main squeeze is Kraken, but this is like kind of my secondary platform that I like. I like to do more of my long-term stocks on Robinhood. I also have my Roth IRA in here, so I am constantly placing money into Robinhood. Another thing I wanted to go over was the share price. Like I said, it's $135, right? Well, there's a 20% buffer. Now, that 20% buffer is an extra $27. That pushes your share price from 135 to $162. And like I said, none of this is definite yet, okay? Because if you go right here, it says final price soon. So this can all change. So we nothing is certain yet. Like the speculation on this is so crazy and things are changing every day. So nobody really knows what's going to happen. What I will say, if you do get allocated and you are available to get a certain amount of shares, okay, what some people are saying is that, you should hold on to it for a long term. This is not financial advice, because if you try to do the pump and dump method like we do with crypto, it could affect your future possibilities with filing for or trying to get selected for other IPOs and allocated for other IPOs through Robinhood in the future. I kind of lean more on that rumor. I can kind of see that one being true because SpaceX did make a statement, saying they wanted serious investors. That's why they're only having a limited amount of shares out there in the first place. Elon Musk didn't even want this to be public, but he got beat at that board meeting. So, we have what we have now. But, if you do the pump and dump method, just be careful with it, guys. Like I said, this isn't financial advice, but if you guys are trying to be serious investors, just be careful with what you're doing. I don't want you guys to mess up your future possibilities doing this again with, the next one after this is going to be OpenAI. That's set in July, so there could be some shares on Robinhood. I don't want you guys to mess up your possibilities with, not getting selected with that because you're pumping and dumping sought after stocks. But so I think that is pretty much everything as far as how to find it on Robinhood, how to apply for it, how to get your number of shares in there. And yeah, so this is expected to it's supposed to release on June 12th, and you can see that right here. So that's this Friday coming up. And if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure it's going to be normal trading hours. So I think we'd be using the New York Stock Exchange. So correct me if I'm wrong, but probably 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, depending on what time zone you are in, you could expect to see this go public. And if you get selected, you should see the stock and the shares, the number of shares in your on your investment page. So, good luck to everybody that out there if you're applying for this. I'm also going to be trying to get allocated, so I don't know. This is actually going to be my first IPO that I'm trying to get allocated for through Robinhood. I've actually never done this as well. Most of the investing I do, it's already public, so I've never had to go through this process as well. So this is also new to me. So I'm just showing you guys what I've learned and how to find it and things like that. So I hope this video helped. We'll get into my weekly trades and we'll go from there.